Today we are going to check in on the chickens, and we are also going to look at our garden. So behind me we have several raised beds. What a raised bed is where you build your garden up off the ground. There's no rules about how high it has to be, and what we did is we used some recycled wood. You'll notice when we walk around that there's some archery targets on these, and that's because it's from an old axe throwing place. So let's go ahead and look at the garden before we check in on our chickens. In this bed we have several different plants, and that's what we've done in all of our beds. In all of these beds we started with some topsoil for most of the dirt in it, and then the top is garden soil. And so in this bed we have beans, and we have spinach, and spinach is like a leafy green like lettuce, and we have watermelons. We also are doing an experiment where we tried planting an old zucchini, and we're still waiting to see if that's gonna grow. Over here we have a little box, and our little box is just herbs. We have 4 different kinds. We have basil, we have dill, we have thyme, and we have rosemary. And the rosemary we're still waiting on because rosemary takes longer to grow than the other plants. In the back corner we actually just have wildflowers, because if you want to grow fruits and vegetables you have to have pollinators like bees and butterflies who help make sure that those different types of fruits and vegetables grow. This is our rosemary packet, and you can see that we tore the corner off because we planted these seeds. And you can tell that it tells you what type of plant it's going to be and what it looks like, how many days to harvest, and harvest means when you can actually eat the plants. I'm going to pour a couple of these seeds out so you guys can see what they look like. You see these itty bitty specks on my hand right here? These are going to be what rosemary seeds look like, and they're going to grow into this big plant. And on the back, it also tells you about how to plant different plants. So you don't need to know how to garden, you just need to know how to read. And it tells you that it takes 15 to 25 days till germination. That's the amount of time until you're going to see little sprouts in the ground. And this is the last bed that we have. And you'll notice that there are 2 beds that are this size. These are 4 feet by 8 feet. And then we have our little herb bed that's 4 feet by 4 feet. There's no rule on what size the beds are as long as you plant your plants according to the different directions on the packets. So in this bed we have tomatoes and marigolds. And you have to plant marigolds with your tomatoes. And the reason why we plant marigolds with tomatoes is they help keep away certain bugs that really like tomatoes. So we have tomatoes and then marigolds, another row of tomatoes, more marigolds, yet another row of tomatoes, and then these ones, which you'll notice are a little bit smaller because they take longer to grow. These are our bell peppers and jalapenos. And then the ones at the very end that look kind of like grass, those are onions. All right, guys, now this is the part I know you've all been waiting for, and that's when we're gonna check on our chickens. And they are both being so well behaved. They're both right over here so you can see them. Both of our chickens are hens, and they are Buff Oppington, which is the type of hen. They are located in what we call a chicken tractor, which means that we can move it around and give them different areas of grass to chew on. Where Sparrow's digging right now is where the tractor used to be, and that's where it's all dirt right now, but you can see some grass starting to sprout back up, and we will move the tractor to give them some more fresh greens soon. In addition to having some dirt and some grass, we also give them chicken feed, and they have a water dish, and then there's a tin area that's covered that provides them with a safe place to sleep and to lay eggs. We are going to go look and see how many eggs we have. Because we have 2 chickens, we could have 2 eggs, we could have 1 egg, or we could have 0 eggs, because these hens don't lay eggs every day. So if you want to come with me, let's go check and see how many eggs we have. On the back of our chicken tractor, we have a door that we can open, so that way we can check and we can clean out on the chickens and make sure that everything's okay. All right, guys. So it looks like in our little chicken tractor, we actually have 2 eggs. That means that both of our chickens laid eggs today. So interestingly, when chickens lay eggs, they are safe to eat. If you do actually rinse off the eggs, that's when you need to put them in the fridge. Otherwise, they're actually safe on the counter. Fresh chicken eggs, they can stay on the counter for at least 60 days without being washed. Thank you everybody for joining me today so that we could check on the chickens. I hope you all have a great day, and maybe all of you can start looking at doing some gardens.